Hello everyone. So in today's video, we will solve this word problem based on the concept of ratio and proportion. As per the problem, Jill and Anne own dolls whose numbers are in the ratio 5 to 6. And then Anne buys 5 more dolls and the new ratio of dolls becomes 10 to 13. And we need to find how many dolls did they own initially. Now we are given that Jill and Anne own dolls which are in the ratio 5 to 6. Now in this ratio, the number 5 is for Jill and number 6 is for Anne. These numbers do not reflect the number of dolls they own. This is just the reduced form of the number of dolls that they own. This ratio can also be written as a fraction 5 over 6. So the 5 is for Jill and 6 is for Anne. Now since these numbers 5 and 6 don't represent the number of dolls they own, we'll have to use a variable to find an expression for the number of dolls Jill and Anne own. Now since this fraction 5 over 6 is the reduced form of the number of dolls Jill and Anne own, we'll have to write a let statement for the common factor in this fraction. So let x represent the common factor for the fraction of number of dolls owned by Jill and Anne initially at the beginning. So that means we can use this variable x to write the number of dolls Jill and Anne owned initially. So number of dolls owned by Jill is equal to 5x, and number of dolls owned by Anne initially is equal to 6x. So I'll use the word initially here so that there's no confusion about that. Now why does this work? Because when we divide 5x by 6x to find the reduced form of the fraction of the number of dolls they own, the x's will cancel each other out and we'll be left with just 5 over 6. So that's why in order to find the number of dolls owned by Jill and Anne initially, we have to use this common factor. Now we'll use this information to analyze the second part of the problem. So as per the second part, Anne buys 5 more dolls and the new ratio becomes 10 to 13. So the number of dolls owned by Jill stay the same, so that is 5x, but now Anne has 5 more dolls, so we get 6x plus 5 because Anne has bought 5 more dolls. Now the ratio of these dolls has changed to 10 over 13. So this is the equation that we have to solve. So this is a proportion equation and we have to solve this proportion equation to find the value of x, which we will use to find the number of dolls owned by them initially. So the first step is to cross multiply the denominators. So we get 13 times 5x equals 10 times 6x plus 5. $65x. We have to distribute the 10 into the parentheses. So we multiply 6x by 10 and we multiply 5 by 10. So we get 60x plus 50. So 65x and 60x are like terms. So we should subtract 60x from both sides. So the 60x on the right side cancel each other out and we are left with 5x. So 65 minus 60 is equal to 5. So that's how we get 5x equals 50. We can isolate x by dividing both sides by 5. So the 5's will cancel each other out on the left side and we are left with x equals 10. So that's the value of the common factor. Now we'll use this x value to calculate the number of dolls owned by Jill and Anne initially. So number of dolls owned by Jill, let me highlight it. So we said 5x is the number of dolls initially owned by Jill and 6x is for Anne. So here, the number of dolls initially owned by Jill will be equal to 5 times 10, which is equal to 50. And now we can do the calculation for Anne. The number of dolls owned initially by Anne will be equal to 6 times 10 because it was 6x, which is equal to 60. So this should be the final answer for this problem. Since it's a word problem, it's a good idea to write a closing statement for this problem. So if you like this video, please share it, like it, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye.